evening, everybody. I have got, Adam's not feeding us tonight, so I've got a bottle of wine, a fine dinner with an old friend, so I'm going to zip through this. You have to ask your questions rat-a-tat so I can get my ass out of here. To extend John's point on participation, I want everyone to get their clothes off. No, you're safe. I'm going to ask you a question, then I'm going to challenge you, then I'm going to ask you 3 more questions, and then I'm going to mention something really important. That doesn't mean the rest of the stuff's going to be unimportant, but I think the last point is really important. Who wants to repeat what's going to happen? Not you, Adam, I know you can. So, who believes that digital, the cloud, the internet, e-commerce, blah, 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 whatever business you are in is important to your strategy? Some of you don't. How very interesting. Okay, we'll re-examine that a little bit later on. Who would see themselves as a digital leader? As a leader, your style, your how you operate your business, how you go about things. Is digital instilled and ingrained in what you do? Hands up. So that makes the rest of you analog. Yeah? All right, let me run through
digital followers.
Or digital followers, indeed. We're not going to go as deep as that. We don't have time, and I'll leave that to people who are smarter than me to examine. So, here are the things that I want to, the points I want to make. Google. Who's got a Google plan? Who's got a strategy for what goes on in Google, in your business, how it relates to your business, how it's going to relate to your business? Who's got one? Anyone here from Google? Good, I can say what I like. Why does Google exist?
Advertising.
Why? Sorry?
To make money with
To make money!
advertising.
Do no evil, blah, blah, blah. No one from Google here can say what I like. This is off the record, isn't it? So that's all BS. It exists to make money. So, display advertising, dead that. Pay-per-click, slowing down, still make a lot of money, but it's slowing down, they need to accelerate. So how do they make money? How do they make more money? They just find different ways. Who thinks the Google search results page is the same now as it was 2 years ago? How different is it? What are the areas it's different in?
The quality of the return.
The quality of the return is better or worse or just different?
Worse, I think.
Worse. Why is it worse?
No, I can't seem to get any variety. You get the same thing over and over again.
You get the same thing over and over again. You don't get any variety. Why is that? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's all paid for. Is natural search, SEO. If you know what those things are, I hope you do, you analog sorts. Is natural search, SEO, more important or less important in making money for your business than it was 2 years ago? Sorry? Less. You are wrong. Do you know why? Do you know why? Think about the search results page. How much natural search result can you now see above the fold on the Google search results page? How much? Practically nothing. You see Google Local, you see Google Places, you see Google AdSense, you see ads, you see everything paid for. Any of you have any interest in Google's part of your business model might consider what Google's thinking about in the future as being a little bit important? You digital enough? It's changed fundamentally. What's next? What are they going to do next? Because I'll tell you what, it's going to affect all of you. Disintermediation, taking you where they think you should go because that's what they get most money for. If you don't have a Google game plan, get back in the meeting room, cafeteria, boardroom, wherever you go. So that's number 1. Number 2, mobile. You've heard it from people who know more about this stuff than me. You've seen the imaginary graphs. What's changed really in mobile? What's changed for all of you in mobile over the last 2 years? Smartphones. What do smartphones allow you to do? You actually allow you to do everything, anything you want. So transactions in the old world, when I was back at Nokia, were just well, people ever transact stuff? Using handheld devices, using mobile devices? Well, I kind of hope so, but maybe not. Will they browse? Well, I don't. That wasn't very long ago. So go back to lastminute.com. When I looked at our strategy, and we were transacting maybe 2%, 2% of the business was maybe through mobile. What do I think it could be 5 years down the road? It could be 50, depends how you classify it. But how many tablets are there in the market now, just in this country? Anybody know? I don't. But I'll tell you what, it's more than 50. How many were there 2 years ago?
0.
We're not playing that funny game again. 0. 0. Who owns a tablet? Who owns a smartphone? Who owned a tablet or a smartphone 5 years ago? Smartphone maybe, but you couldn't do half the shit you're doing on it now, could you?
It wasn't very smart.
It wasn't very smart. It wasn't very smart. So, if I think, okay, I was in an e-commerce business, but if I think, oh, 50%, I'm going to pitch for 50% of my transactions. We're going to grow that business through mobile. It's an e-commerce business. But where's your game plan on mobile? It's transformed over the last 2 years. You've seen the growth. It's your customers who are driving that growth. People like you and me. So is mobile part of your strategy? Mobile data part of your strategy? Whether you're driving transactions, whether you're driving information, whether you're driving advertising, whether you're building communities, because the communities all exist on mobile now. Ting! Foursquare, check into a bar, score points. It's so annoying, I hate it. Groupon, mobile, bang. Location-based, bang. Restaurant booking, theatre booking. Finding out about stuff on the move. We weren't doing that 2 years ago, we all forget. So is mobile part of your game plan? Third one, social. Now, people can bang on about social for hours on end. It's enormously interesting, isn't it? Is social part of your game plan? Who in this room tracks relevant subject matter feeds into your business, relevant to your business, whatever you're doing? Who tracks it? Who has tracking in place to get intel and data in terms of what's being tweeted about, what the social networks are saying, and what the moves are across these? Who's got that? Who's got that set up? Good. Because that will serve you extremely well. Because I'll tell you what, that's where every opinion in the world is being formed right now. Whether you're in the dullest of B2B businesses, and believe me, I've been in them, or whether or not you're right on the edge of new technology, that is where people are forming their opinions, exchanging information. All the stuff that you go around, well, what's Facebook and what's LinkedIn's valuation. There's real thing. You know what social networks do best? Social networks, the thing they do best is, as soon as someone pushes on a door, they open it. Facebook sees people starting to look for where are cool places to go, where are nice hotels. What does Facebook do? They go and do a connection. They tunnel through and do a deal with TripAdvisor. That's clever. That's going to what? That's going to drive more traffic and drive more advertising, drive more revenue for them. But it's also pretty useful. You imagine LinkedIn do the same thing. How many on LinkedIn here? I bet all of you are, aren't you? Me too. And I actually use it. Now, I can look at TripAdvisor, I can look anywhere else that tells me where I should say. But if I go on LinkedIn and I see that if I'm going to Munich, the hotel that all of the people in my network in LinkedIn, if anyone's been to Munich in the last 6 months or a year, they all stayed in this particular hotel, I'll tell you what, I'll do that faster than I'll do it from a TripAdvisor review or some other individual hotel review site. Push on a door, open it. And that's one small example from leisure, but I'll tell you what, it exists. I'll guarantee you the whole social thing exists. Who advertises? Any of you advertise? Anywhere, digitally or offline? I guess many of you do, or I guess your companies all do. How many of them have got a game plan for how social plays into the advertising strategy? Oh, probably not, because it's a wee bit tricky and the ROIs are difficult to measure and blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you what, you better figure it out. Because that is the next playground for advertising. For some of the reasons I've mentioned, and a whole list more that we don't have time to go into just now. So what's Google going to do next is in your game plan. What's happening in mobile? Is that in your strategy? Social networks, how does that play into how you track opinions that matter to your business tactically and strategically, and how does it play into your whole advertising, promotion and relationship building strategy? That's the 3 points. Now I'm coming on to my important theme. Who in this room has got a data monkey? And by a data monkey, I mean someone who is a member of various subterranean organisations, dresses in black a lot, and probably only comes up and talks to you in the bar sometime after midnight, when all you want to do is get a pair of Zappos trainers on and run like mad. Who's got one? If you do not have a data monkey, you're dead. I'm being serious. The world that is happening around us already and the world that is to come is a data and analytics driven world. Analytics capability, deep algorithmic and analytical capability in your organization is the holy grail of how you will be successful. It will determine pulling data from all the areas that I've just described, those 3 areas I talked about. It's going to define how fast you can make decisions, and it's going to define how accurate those decisions are going to be. I always used to say about lastminute.com years ago, I would say there were 2 things: consumer marketing business and technology business. As of 2-3 years ago, I started saying there were 3 things: consumer marketing business, technology business, and an analytics business. And if digital, if the cloud, if e-commerce, if the internet is at all important to you, then I'll tell you what, you better be better at analytics than your competition is, or you will not win. You have my assurance of that as a friend. So that's my important point. So I can't remember my own themes now, but I made 3 points. I made one important remark, or one important area for you to focus on, and I asked you if digital was important to the future strategy of your business. And I asked you as well, are you digital or analog? So I'm going to ask you now, are you digital enough? Who thinks, based on what I've said, believe it or not, if what I've said is even 10% true, right? If it's even 10% true, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're leading a business, whether you are part of a leadership team in a business, or whether you're just participating in a business, are you digital enough that you can win in the world that is to come? I conclude. I thank you.